All right. Hi, guys. I just wanted to go over these problems. Everybody else did them in class on their own, and then I checked them. But in case you guys wanted to see the explanations in as kind of like a review from yesterday, graphing linear equations, whether they are in standard or slope-intercept form. So if you were asked to graph this equation, this is already in y equals mx plus b form. So m is -2/5. That is your slope, your rate of change. And again, I always give the negative to the top number, and then the bottom number stays positive. And then my b, my y-intercept, is assumed to be 0 here, so +0. So my y-intercept is 0, which makes it the ordered pair 0, 0, because the y-intercept always has an x-coordinate of 0. All right, so we plot the y-intercept first. It crosses the y-axis when y is 0, so right there at the origin, and then you use your slope to move. Rise over run. So how do you rise -2? You go down 2. How do you run +5? You go right 5. So you have to go down 2, right 5. And then you can continue down 2, right 5, except I fall off the coordinate plane. So now I'm going to go back to my start point, and I'm going to go the other direction. So do the exact opposite of going down 2 and right 5. Go up 2 and left 5. And it forms that perfect straight line. All right? And then just double check, the slope of this line was negative and it slants to the left. So that's correct. It should slant to the left when the slope is negative. All right, if you were asked to graph this linear equation, well, this linear equation is in standard form, that ax plus by equals c. So we want to solve it for y and get y by itself, so then it's back to being in y equals mx plus b form, and I can get my slope and I can get my y-intercept. So if we have to get y by itself, we're going to minus 2 x's from both sides. That's going to leave us with -3y's is left, equals, we can't combine them, so I asked you to put the x's first, so -2x, and then the +9 that was already there. And then the only thing you have left to do to get y by itself is divide everything by -3. All right, so now y is by itself. A negative divided by a negative reduces to a positive. 2 does not divide by 3, and it doesn't reduce to a smaller fraction. So it just stays 2 over 3 times x. And then +9 divided by -3 is -3. So now we have y equals mx plus b form. So now I can tell that my slope, my m, is 2/3, because the number in front of x is always your slope. That's your rate of change. And then b, your y-intercept, is always the number by itself, -3, which means that's where it crosses the y-axis. So that's an ordered pair of 0, -3, because a y-intercept always has an x-coordinate of 0. So we plot the point first, plot your y-intercept, which is -3, so it's right on the y-axis, where y is -3, and then you're going to use your slope to move, rise over run. So I'm going to rise up 2, and I'm going to run to the right 3 since it's positive. So up 2 and right 3, up 2 and right 3. And then I can go the other way. If you go back to your y-intercept, do the exact opposite of going up 2 and right 3. Go down 2 and left 3, down 2 and left 3. And it forms that perfect straight line. Okay, and then the last example that you were asked to graph the line x equals 2. Well, that's special. There are 4 things that a straight line can do. It can slant to the left when the slope is negative, it can slant to the right when the slope is positive, or it can be a completely horizontal or a completely vertical line. If it's going to be a horizontal or vertical line, then there's only one variable in its equation. I mean, technically, there's supposed to be an x and a y in the equation. That's how you know the line is going to slant. If there is an x and a y, then it'll have a slope and it'll have a y-intercept. It will slant. But if there's only one variable, then it's special. It's horizontal or vertical. And all you have to do is get that one variable by itself. Luckily, that's already done for us. X is already by itself. And now you have to create a line that says exactly this. This says that x has to equal 2 the entire time. On the entire line, every single x coordinate must be a 2. So go on your graph where an x coordinate is 2. So go to the right 2, right there. That is where x is 2. you have to create a straight line, either horizontal or vertical, that every x coordinate has an x coordinate of 2. So I can't go to the right because then x would be 3. I can't go to the left because then x would be 1. So I can't go right and I can't go left. I can't slant. The only way for you to be able to go then is straight up, and that's where x is still 2. That's the point 2, 0, and that's the point 2, 1. I can put a dot right here. That's the point 2, 2. I can put a dot right here. That's the point 2, 3. The x coordinate is always 2. I can even go down. That's the point 2, negative 1. This is the point 2, negative 2. So as long as x has to always be positive 2, it's going to create a vertical line. And then there's the graph of the equation x equals 2. Okay? All right, so all they had to do after this was go complete their assignment on quizzes that I listed on Google Classroom. All right, let me know if you guys have any questions.